my baby girl. Morning. So I have had to keep the horses in the last 24 something hours. And so it did finally stop raining, but since we're having shoe issues staying on and the pastures are still wet, I'm not able to actually turn them out, and I'm having to put them on the walker while I'm going to go through the stalls one by one. There are 8 stalls. For those who know, I have 12 horses, so there are 4 horses that stay out during the rain. I don't know who gets the better deal, because honestly, the ones that stay out think that the ones that stay in are lucky, and the ones that are in think the ones that are out. Moody. God, I love-hate with that horse. So, there we go. And then I'm going to start doing stalls. All the horses are absolutely fine. I'm very lucky and happy this year. Last year, I had some sick horses. I had some infected horses. They weren't getting pregnant. Things along those lines was going down. This year, I'm very lucky that everybody is healthy. I've got at least, God, I hope I have at least 2, but I'm thinking at least 4 pregnant. This is Ellie's stall. I just got my bill from the clinic from sending her off. She was bred with frozen semen, which I've always been told has never been all that successful. With Clydesdales. Clydesdales are definitely more difficult to breed than others. Kind of makes it so they have this weird, what I call Clydesdale tax, where they just cost extra because keeping them alive, keeping them around takes so long. So I don't know if it will work. We don't get to find out until next week, but we do get to find out whether or not Tilly and Bailey are pregnant this week, though, as in tomorrow. It's going to be a very exciting day. Gotta figure out which 2 teams I'm going to end up working tomorrow. Tuesday, I have a farrier coming out, so I'll be getting some clips and videos of how I get the shoes off, prep and clean them for him, and get them back on. probably going to be wearing through my shoes this year and going to need to look into, or having him tell me that I'm going to have to buy more shoes. I've tried extra hard this year to get them out working, which wears on them a lot more. It's going to be a busy week, but we've got this. I haven't even really looked at the forecast. I think today we get sun. I think this week we get sun up until Wednesday again, which is what it said last week, and I ended up holding off until Friday, Saturday. So hopefully they're wrong. We could really use some dryness around here. Helps with getting the horses worked and a bunch of other shit. I guess Wednesday they're saying it might be 87 degrees out. I should go back and rewatch this after when it's come and gone and see if it even remotely got there. The nice thing about having the walker is that while I'm cleaning the stalls, and it could take me 15 minutes a stall up to, the horses get to be out stretching their legs. The downside is when they stop the walker because they're sick of walking. It only goes about 2 miles per hour. Could actually be looked into to see why it's going back down. It's undoubtedly due to the fact that we have horses that yank on it. But I'm very lucky I don't have a lot of dirty horses in the stalls. So get up, I've got 8 stalls to clean through, and then I've got a lot of gardening to put in. I used to be a real gardener, okay? I would put in a lot. I have dumbed down a lot. One, I just can't fight with the cucumber beetle anymore. It's a little yellow striped bug that sucks. And I just can't fight with it anymore. So there's that. And then I can't handle, I don't get to use as much as I want out of it. But I do love tomatoes. So I have a ton of tomato plants. Peas I adore. And I think I have some cabbage, broccoli stuff I'll be putting in. So I'm sure there will be gardening content soon enough. But for now, just trying to get through peaceful sun chores. A very rainy weekend. So. The horse is making funny noises. Stretching is my guess. Alright, one stall down. Like I said, it takes me about 15 minutes to stall. I think it was a little less because I walked the horse out. But that makes it so the horses get at least a mile walking on the walker while I'm in here. Like I said, they can't really go out in their pasture right now. It's too damn muddy, so they're having to stay in and require twice as much energy to take care of. Good morning. So along the lines, it's been really, I think I'm gonna end up cleaning up the aisle while I'm going. at all. Actually kind of a nice day if it wasn't for the fact that it has rained so much that you basically can't see the ground as a solid structure. So, Lord, I wish it would stop raining up here. Send it somewhere else. Lord, like they obviously need it anywhere else, just not here. This is my one and only gelding stall. Joey is a 3-year-old gelding who was originally going to be my next stud, but he was really fucking mouthy, really rude, pushy. He kind of lost for a little bit, just due to the fact of not being worked and was coming back, the structure that I had desired in him. I wanted a nice long high head. He kind of started carrying his a little lower naturally, so it's not exactly what I was looking for. And then I found a new stud colt who makes me a lot happier. So I gelded him, and although geldings don't belong on breeding farms like I'm trying to be, he kind of makes me happy. He's a good boy. And because of that, it's been kind of hard to list him for sale, but he technically is. I always get really kind of lazy about pushing the wheelbarrow. It only has to go down the hill a little stretch and get dumped, but I really hate doing it, so I have a tendency to sort of slow down my mechanics of getting it done, just so that way I don't have to push it. But I'm going to admit, it's going to be faster once I do. See, literally doesn't even take that long. I'm just that lazy when it comes to pushing it. And his stall is going to need a complete reload on bedding. He's a good boy though, relatively clean. I'm lucky I only have, I would say only horse in my barn that really wrecks a stall like a son of a gun would be my stud. hurt myself. Because he really passed that down. What's up, Dale? Hot bothering? Really packs it in there. It's like down in a dip too. These stalls are not maybe my most ideal stalls that I could have come up with. Came with the way the property is. However, I did make it so that way the wall behind me can be taken down and this can be a birthing stall. It's kind of often that my fans will hear about how one of my horses was born in my arms and it was this exact location. It was the mare that was just stomping her foot. That mare loves to give birth standing up. I'm not exactly sure how many, but at least 2 out of 3 she has been on her feet to give birth. And I don't know if that's a typical thing. I don't think it is, since I haven't had another horse that does it. But she's just complicated. I guess she plays by her own rules. We'll be on to the next one. So we'll need more hay. Love these hay nets. It's kind of a love-hate game. They definitely make it so the horses waste way less, but they aren't the easiest to get hay in. That one didn't fight me that hard. It's pretty cool. But we are just gonna turn this one out onto the stands for a little bit. You'll be good. Hi, baby. This is one of my favorites. This is Bailey. And she has been with me the longest as far as my Clydes go. I do have one light horse who has been with me longer. Right. But as far as Clydesdales go, this one has been with me the longest. Which is only 6 years. I did have one that I had for 9 years who passed away in October. That was not easy on me, that's for sure. I definitely am one of those people who at least tries to love the horse more than I love the game. And so I don't love passing things around, buying and selling, trading, etc. And definitely more here the love of the horse. But you can't stop it from dying sometimes. So sometimes you can. I just haven't seen it yet. Dark humor will get you through pretty much anything. Like this stall. This is not the stall she belongs in. This is actually her daughter's stall. So I will not be returning her back in here. I'll be putting her daughter in here. I should walk her by the stud and see if she's feeling anything for him today. Today would be like 18 days pregnant if she isn't. So that'd be really cool. Tomorrow we find out for real. She was already technically pregnant once this season, but the embryo did not stick. It's not easy for me to handle, especially because she technically lost the embryo on my birthday. It was really nice of her. Her daughter, however, is pregnant. She's gonna be the first one due next year, which is very cool. Hopefully the foal gets its dad's neck though. She's lacking in that category, but you still go forth and hope that. Oh fuck it, Bisbee. She's looking at me like exhausted. This is a tin roof, so they probably listen to it rain all night, and that's gotta be exhausting. Why are you looking like Ray Ray? You got a bad haircut. She sort of piled up all the bedding in the corners and shit on it and then piled it up some more. So this stall's going to take a little bit longer, and that was a pile underneath the hay. An interesting life choice. I do think it's going to fit. For those who are new, I absolutely hate dumping the wheelbarrow, but it is obviously a part of doing this. It's just my least favorite part. Only a mad dash down a hill makes it significantly easier to toss all your shit, but I'm just weird. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna fit. Kind of depends. There's a secret pile under her hay. I have to see if she just shit a lot there or not, on whether or not this will fit. Never really sure why they do that, but they do. Ellie! That gives you a little more room. Did fit, sort of. A little coarse, but it did. And now I can just spread out what was left, what is clean. Through and I'm going to end up emptying all their waters at the end. I like them all having as fresh water as they can have. I mean, given it's buckets of water hanging out in barns, but I don't want them to go into a stall that has dirty water. So it gets dumped at least once a day, if not twice. to the next one. Like I had just mentioned, I actually want the horse that's in this stall, I want there instead. So that's her actual stall. Maybe it'll be more organized there. Probably not. This giant thing was actually my firstborn child here on the farm. This is Vivian, and she's the one who technically made me a horse breeder. Or made me feel like I actually was breeding. She is now in foal herself, which is very exciting, terrifying, but will be a lot of fun. Their pregnancies last anywhere from, on average, we'll say 340 days post-ovulation. However, it can be so much more or less than that. This stall got cleaned yesterday. That's okay, it happens. Sister calls. We're gonna find out if we're headed out. If you want to give her a ring. You wanna call her? What? The stall got cleaned yesterday. The stall didn't get cleaned yesterday. Alright. There's what it is. You know, if Bailey isn't technically in heat, we can try to hook a 4 to see what the 6 would look like. if we put Striker in the wheel and see how it goes. And Vivian in the wheels, and then Joey and Bailey out front. And we'll see if he can behave since she's not coming in so far. I say so far because I have absolutely no faith in the pregnancies around this farm anymore. Oh, first I sure it laid down. That's the whole reason to clean their stalls, is to make it more comfortable for them to do so. So sometimes it just makes you feel real good when they do. Also, that is her actual stall, so I imagine she preferred being there. She's got gas. Heavy hauling. Almost done this stall. Got one more after this. And off for a little bit. Be back in order to start working some of the horses. assume most people are actually interested in on the horse world. So it's pretty much done. Tilly while I'm doing this. Bug. Okay. Let's give her some fresh bedding while it also single-handedly cleans up the aisle. Drives it crazy. Now I'm going to put Bailey in that one because that's her actual stall. Right, B? This is often nicknamed Big B. Big B after me. Why would you do that? B, back to the hole up. What are you so cranky about? You're old enough to have just stood out here alone. One would think. Okay, that's her daughter calling her. You guys were never very well weaned. That's cool. Oh. Right, B? Here. And then I foolishly named her daughter Blair, her other daughter, which made my life very difficult on having a big B and a little B. But sometimes you do that. Oops. All right, next, Bug, and I'll be done with my stalls in this barn. Tilly, your stall's the easiest because you've gotten clean more. And you're kind of a super neat mare. While we're at it though, we're gonna go see if she likes our stud. So, a pretty easy indication. He, of course, will like anybody, but like in the first stall. Did you get all 3 stalls for me with 1 wheelbarrow?
No, I did 1.
Oh, good job. I'm pathetic. Okay. I think so.
Is she pregnant?
We shall see though. Tomorrow she has a vet appointment and that will confirm or exclude whether or not she is pregnant. So we'll just wait for that. What? Okay, well, it's also 15 days and she just shook her tail, so we'll see. Oops. Just what the lawn needs, more water. Okay. Well, I just need a fork and I will be getting in here done. So Tilly is going to be my largest in question mare on whether or not she is pregnant. She is my most expensive mare on the property. She is my most well-bred animal on the property, in my eyes at least. And I'm really, really hoping she's trying to make a repeat breeding. If so, it could really, really help the farm out. However, I have very little faith in the people who are helping with the breedings this spring, so we shall see. God. Jesus Christ. Almost done. Tilly's technically only at 15 days today, so she would start maybe sort of coming in tomorrow and slash over the next 2 days after. Starting to stand her in front of the stud to just monitor what that effect looks like, but it's too early to tell off of whether or not she's coming into heat. However, the stud, I definitely think she is. At least wants to play with them. He's not a great indicator on them though. I'll probably have a really fun quick update on the farm where maybe I'll mash the whole week schedule into it and see where we're at. But that way you don't have to actually watch the hour live in order to get the update from beginning to end. So. Hopefully we'll see though. A lot going on. Okay, it was nice hanging out with everybody. Stalls are officially done, and I will be able to get on with the day. So hopefully you guys have a good day. Thank you. Ah, the button.